Hello, this is Head to Head on UATV and I am Oles Gerjuk. Today we're talking about Ukraine's economy and the famous Shakespeare's question to be or not to be looming over it. Will the state receive the next tranche of loan from the International Monetary Fund after fulfilling all of the obligations, or will it lose all the economic achievements of recent years and be drawn into a new crisis approaching default? To discuss the topic, we welcome Serhiy Fursa, an investment banker and economic expert. Hello, and thank you for coming today.
Hello.
So, Mr. Fursa, recently the experts of the IMF mission have arrived to Ukraine. What are their tasks here?
It's the same task like it was months ago, even 6 months ago or 9 months ago. There is still discussion about how to create this anti-corruption court as an independent institution. And the key question is the right of veto that should have these experts that to be nominated by international society, by the creditors, by the way. So far, Ukrainian authorities do not want to accept this veto rule, but it's obligatory and it's critical, as it was mentioned in the Venice Commission, and it's critical for IMF to get this veto.
This is a direct requirement from the IMF.
Yes,
okay.
and so far there is talks just about this problem, nothing else.
Is this provision present in the bill? Registered in the parliament?
No, still not. No. We haven't seen the bill that was registered because still under discussion what text should be in this bill, because still it's in the committee, people are discussing, because there is a lot of small changes that the MPs want to implement, but still the only one crucial is the right veto, and there is still discussion between President administration and IMF.
So basically, IMF insists this court not to be subordinate to the president or to Ukrainian government. Basically, so they keep some control over corruption in Ukraine.
Control and
over fight with corruption.
And corrupt people could be part of this court in case this veto would not implement it, because everybody was seeing how Supreme Court was formed, and we have seen when society, a group of societies that was delegated to control it, in a huge number of times was telling that, okay, this guy is corrupt, or this guy it's not, could be in the Supreme Court, but still the total community of judges were voting, and this guy would pass. So far, nobody want to see how the situation to be repeated in the anti-corruption court.
Well, as far as I see, there is the whole drama developing from this situation with the creation of the anti-corruption court, because Verkhovna Rada, the Ukrainian parliament, cannot consider the bill on the anti-corruption court because the president of Ukraine submitted to the parliament more than 1,000 amendments. What is going on?
No. There is no drama. There is trading. There is trading between President administration and IMF. When IMF focused on the veto rule and insist on it, and President administration tried to avoid it and to find some other ways that will see veto, but not 100% veto.
So they want to prolong the process
of
negotiations with all these amendments? I mean, 1,000 amendments, and there is only one direct message, vote for this veto right.
It's usual situation for Ukraine, such number of amendments. We have seen it a lot in previous cases when some very important laws was in Rada. So it's okay. It's not the biggest problem, these amendments. It takes time, just 1 or 2 days, when MPs will vote no for every of these amendments. So it's not a problem. But the problem is there is still we have no agreement between Ukrainian authorities and IMF about veto. And it's a key problem that still exists. It was key problem 9 months ago. It was key problem 3 months ago. And currently, when the clock is ticking, yes, we really need this tranche before autumn, because the Ukrainian economy will see a lot of problems in case we wouldn't get it. So the clock is ticking, but we still have the same problem.
But this is not the only one requirement that Ukraine hasn't fulfilled yet.
Yes, there is still case with hiking of gas prices, but as far as we understand, if we will implement anti-corruption court, it's the main problem, it's a crucial role.
Yes.
It's much easier for the government to increase prices after it. And now what we see is that government just do not want to be on the first side, yes, to increase. Just imagine what think Ukrainian Prime Minister. Okay, I will increase gas prices. I will get all the negative information from everybody because it's unpopular decision. And at the same time, if Rada wouldn't implement anti-corruption court, we wouldn't get a tranche from IMF.
Of course.
So we'll have high gas prices and a lot of
lose
negative...
the support from the population.
Yeah,
basically.
he lose support for
the
nothing.
rest of the support. Yeah.
He lose, yes, the support is very weak, but still there is no hate for him, for instance.
Yeah.
So he will lose support and wouldn't get nothing for it because we wouldn't get next tranche without anti-corruption court.
But could you please clarify this issue with gas prices? Because the government should bring gas prices to import parity, right? And this aspect scares Ukrainians because even last winter people would barely pay their bills off and survive. And Ukrainian Prime Minister Volodymyr Groysman has been assuring Ukrainians that the price for gas is not going to be increased. Could you please explain what is the actual situation?
The Prime Minister told that gas price wouldn't be increased in
for the consumers.
For the consumer, but in the heating season, during the heating season.
Okay.
What he said, now heating season is over. So if we're talking about should he keep his word or not, it's already not a problem, because what he was saying starting from autumn, I wouldn't increase gas prices till the end of heating season. Heating season is over, so far nothing could stop you from increasing from the gas price hike and to implement it to market level. Because what's the problem of Ukraine? Gas prices for consumers, for population, is always political question. It shouldn't be. It should be just the economy.
Yes.
When you're buying potatoes, you don't ask it's Ukrainian potatoes or import potatoes.
But will Ukrainians be able to handle the higher price?
Yes, because there is such Ukrainians that couldn't afford it will get subsidies. That's all. It was what we have seen for the last 3 years. If you had no money, if you spend for this stuff higher much more than 20% of your salary, you will get support from the state. If it's less than 20% or 15% of your salary, you are okay to pay for it.
But still, there are some people who are not succeeding to get subsidies. So will the government simplify somehow the procedure?
No, in Ukraine, more than 50% of the population already got subsidies. And we could tell not that there is guys who should have, but they do not have. The question is that a lot of people that don't deserve subsidies
so they just want subsidies.
Yes.
Okay, like a discount.
And already got it because they have, for instance, they do not pay taxes, their salaries in the shadow, and they show, okay, I have no job, for instance, I need subsidies, etc., etc., etc. It's a big problem because, and that's why a lot of people say that, okay, we have to check all our social help in Ukraine to understand who gets what. And on the experience of Greece or Georgia, we can understand that up to 30% could be cut because it will be fraud or just people who get some subsidies or pensions or whatever, or debt or do not deserve it.
Okay. What is the other requirement for Ukraine to fulfill?
To be honest, nothing. Hiking of gas prices and anti-corruption.
What about fiscal policy?
Fiscal policy, it's, you can't say fiscal policy at all, yes? IMF said, okay, you got some problems with budget, let's discuss it. But it's not a question, I want you to increase something, or I want you to decrease something. It's just
what changes do they want about Ukraine's fiscal policy?
They don't want any changes, to be honest. They just ask you to spend money carefully. And they understand that it's a pre-election year and there is a lot of potential populism, like increases some spending, social spendings, and IMF tried to stop it, to stop Ukrainian government from doing it.
Well, we're pending on the next tranche of money from the IMF. What is your forecast? Are we going to get this loan, and when, or we are drawing in the crisis?
Okay, I don't know. And it's always
So it's
50-50. It's like, would you meet dinosaur or not? 50-50. I think it's almost...
At least this is neutral.
No, I think, okay, 60% that we will get it, because authorities understand that we will really need it, because they do not want to enter to elections with hryvnia cost 50 per dollar, for instance. It would not be acceptable for people who are voting. And it makes for authorities much more problems than hiking gas prices or implementation of anti-corruption codes.
Sure. Well, thank you for your opinion. It's very important to us.
Thank you.
That was Serhiy Fursa, an economist and investment banker. Thank you for watching Head to Head, and stay tuned with UATV.